righteous if you do it for the right reason. Why do we obey God?
Because we know him and love him or something.
He loved us first.
Yeah, sure.
And so because he loves us, we want to obey him. It's not to be loved. We obey him because we're loved. There's a different, people obey God to be loved by him with hoping that God will welcome them. But we're changed. We can't help.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's like putting the cart before the horse.
Yes. And so that's the imperative. That's why he's answering that question in the book of James. And so if you just read the book of Romans, you look at that term justification, you'll never see the addition of works.
So I've been
in fact,
reading
it says,
from the start.
yes.
I'm on page like 800 right now. Just the whole Bible.
Okay, all right, it's good. You know what I usually encourage people? You ever watch a movie?
Yeah,
you ever see the end of the movie before you see the movie?
No.
Never?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think maybe once or twice.
But if you were to watch the end of a movie, say the last 20 minutes, and then watch the movie, you would understand the movie much better.
Yeah.
It's the same way with the Bible. If you read the second half, because there's an old saying we use, the old is revealed in the new, and the new is concealed in the old.
Yeah,
so you won't understand the old unless you know the new.
I mean,
because all the Old Testament is pointing to Jesus.
I've been raised around the New Testament a lot, but I didn't have much.
No, I would encourage you to read both. But if you don't know who Jesus is, all of the Old Testament is pointing to Jesus.
Yeah.
From Genesis 3.
You don't see what they're pointing at yet. True.
Yeah, you can't understand the sacrificial system, all the blood. Well, the Bible says by one sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
He has cleansed us from sin. The Bible says that there's no more offerings for sin because the last sacrifice of Jesus is what removes our sin. So all of those blood sacrifices were pointing to someone who would come future and then offer himself. And so now there's no more need to kill animals, right? We don't do that anymore because that sacrifice has been performed by Jesus. But all of the Old Testament ceremonial things were done pointing people to the Messiah who would come.
That's interesting.
So, but that's why we read it. So, any other question?
Thank you.
Just something. Did I give you a card? Here's. Yeah. It tells you how you're ready. It tells you, this is why I just try to explain to people. You need righteousness and you need forgiveness, and only Jesus provides them. And so if you have any questions, I'd love to be able, you know what I mean? I usually try to come once a week.
Yeah.
And so I go to different colleges and different places. So I'm pretty busy throughout the week doing this. But I mean, I want people to know the God of salvation. I want them to know. And you know what gives me comfort? Is that, what did Jesus say on the cross before he died? Before he gave up his spirit, he said this: it is finished. Do you know what was finished? All the work necessary to save us. Why would he say it is finished? Why do we add to Jesus now? That's the bigger question. Why are we adding our good works? If Jesus said it's finished, it's one Greek word, tetelestai. It has been accomplished. I've done the work of salvation. Why do we add to it if it's already done? That's like somebody paying a debt, and now you say, wait a minute, it's not enough. Or somebody earning you the way to heaven. He's done all the good work. And you say, well, it's not enough. In essence, you're telling God that what he has done is not sufficient to save you.
But you would say James is one part of the picture.
James is explaining, what does faith look like?
Yes. And then if you really are compelled by grace, then you
yes,
will do works.
You will. So wouldn't you want, it's like, imagine being on a sports team and the coach doesn't tell you what to do. How would you know how to play the sport well? You have a job and they don't, what, you have things that explain how to do things. Well, the Bible explains how to love God.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. All right, God bless you guys. And you got to go? So, yeah, all right. Be blessed. I had two professors yell at me today.